disagree on this forever, but we met again in junior high school. I think I might have said something about his teeth. I spit on his Metallica t-shirt, or he spit on my silk shirt. I'm not sure how that happened, but we weren't friends after that. Number 3. I gained a ton of respect, and I want to be Mark's friend, or a ton of respect for Mark, and I want to be his friend solely because he can fart in the hallways and not be embarrassed in front of girls. He's in fact proud of it. And from that point on, we call him Mark the Dump Truck Coleman. Sorry if this gets long. Number 4. I jump in on a fight that Mark is in with the biggest guy on the football team and friends. We both get in this fight thinking that Jeff is going to save our ass. I remember at this time seeing Jeff walk away, and I don't know if it's because he was going to a student body meeting because he had kind of cleaned up before the rest of us, or it's because he didn't want to punch Mark in the face and pop one of those giant zits and blow up the whole school.
That was definitely the reason.
That was the reason.
Number 5. Years later. I visit Mark in Philly, where I think this was his most confused time. He's driving an Infiniti, wearing Timberland boots and a velour suit and sunglasses at night. He looks like he's straight out of the ghetto, and I thought we lost him and he forgot that he was from Bowlesburg. Until we got his Infiniti, and he put on the Grateful Dead and started singing in that awful voice as loud as he possibly can, and I knew we still had the hit from State College. This is my last quote before I'll say something else. Mark shows up in San Diego 2 years later in that same Infiniti, only now the rims are in the back seat. The car is wrecked. He tries to sell it to both me and Thomas. And he's been living in a cave, and I'm literally a cave in Colorado. And he is the most miserable person I've ever been around in my life. But with that being said, in all the years I've known Mark, he's down for you 100%. All the time. You can call him any time of the day. He's down. If you want to paint your house, he's down. If you want to paint your toenails, he's down. Whatever you want to do, Mark is down for it. And in the small chance that he's not down, you can bet him that he's scared, that he's too old, and he will do it. You can ask Thomas, because Thomas did a backflip about a year ago when we bet Mark that he couldn't do it. And I have a photo of Mark landing on his head on the sidewalk. So his life is always going to be exciting, and he's always committed to every single one of us out here. And my brother and I often, like, Mark will ask you for the most ridiculous things, like, hey, I'm going to bring my dog to meet your dogs at 1:30 in the morning, or come watch me get tattooed for 9 hours, as boring as it is. And you don't ever want to do these things for Mark. They're stupid and they suck. And but what my brother and I come to the conclusion is, like, you got to do it because the reason is Mark would do it for you. And anytime any of us need him, he'll be there. So now, with that being said, I'm almost done, I promise. I don't know Judith as well, but I have to have one kind of awkward, embarrassing story. It made me feel real awkward when this happened. But I felt like you could always bet Mark and he was going to do something. So the first time I met Judith, Mark, they moved to San Diego and they were staying at my house. So we're sitting in the backyard, and we're both reading books, which is kind of awkward in itself, just sitting next to each other reading. But Judith stops and she looks at me and she goes, "Hey Jesse." I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "I can stick my whole fist in my mouth." I was like, "What the?" So as for Mark, like what I would do to him, I was like, "No, you can't." Next thing I know, and if we're lucky, she'll show us Judith sticks her whole fist in her mouth for absolutely no reason. So she's down, he's down, they make a perfect match, they compliment each other, and I just want to give a cheers to both of you because you're both amazing people.